And I'm going to bring on our first guest. You heard her chatting with John, who's missing her Cardinals. As a fellow Cardinals fan, I feel for you, Paula. So, Paula, great to have you. Longtime client of Dynamic Directions, a great gal. Know Tim really well. Get to you see Kyle, their young son. He's about a year older than Stone, and they went down through the adoption route. So, Paula and I have a lot in common, not just out with work, but things family-wise. And Paula, I know we've got on this. Let me jump to the screen here. I know that you won a Working Mother Top Wealth Advisor last year, but I think you got another award recently. What was that reward or award?
Yeah, I was notified last week that I made the Forbes Top Women Wealth Advisors list. And in the state of Missouri, there were only 8 of those women, and there were none from Ameriprise. All the other ladies were from St. Louis, Chesterfield area, and there was one from Kansas City, and then little old me in Springfield. So I was really thrilled to make that list, seeing that they were from all over the country and all over, from independent advisors to big companies as well. I think there were several from Ameriprise all over the country, but that's just a testament to my team, and all of you know how important our teams are to us, and so that it's important for us to work together. So that's the first time I've made that list, and I was really pleased about that, and our team plans to celebrate sometime when we get back to
Right. Well, we got a few celebrations on hold. We'll add that to the list. Well, I just want to say how proud I am of you. And I expected you to say that about your team because, Paul, you're a very humble person. You're very kind. You take care of your team, and you give them credit where credit's due. But congratulations to you. I think that's a phenomenal award and a great milestone for you.
Congrats.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about this whole coffee and conversation idea that you launched a couple weeks ago that I know advisors, I've been telling them about it on coaching calls. I know that our unit tonight that's with us is very eager to hear about. So let's back up a little bit before we get a coffee and conversation. What were some things you've been doing to stay in touch with clients? What have you been doing?
Yeah, so we started reaching out to clients at the end of February when the market was getting really volatile, and we were having a lot of appointments and a lot of conversations, and we repeatedly reached out the month of March to our top clients. And I remember one of my advisors coming to me and saying, here we are at the end of March, when the market started to bottom out around, I think it was the 23rd. Here we go again, round 2. And so, round 2. And so we started reaching out to them again and really in touch with our clients and just with everyone that we could. And we did lots of emails. We did marketing on demand. We did conference calls. We did social media, almost to the point that we were tired of even getting them ourselves. We are all copied on what we get, and we actually did a reevaluation on what's necessary and what's not. And we were all getting inundated with lots of things at that point. So we kept monitoring that, and we kept monitoring our clients to see and looking at the stats on social media and the contacts and what they were actually opening to see what was important to them. And we saw some spikes in there. But then when we started to see that wane, we changed our methodology again. So we just did what we could to stay in touch with clients and stay in front and use a lot of the company resources and some of our partners to stay in touch with clients as well, especially through the end of March and most in April when it was really getting pretty intense there. So we did a lot of just everything, lots of different things that we could.
Right. Well, and I'm bringing that up for a couple of reasons. One, I want to understand the context in which we're going to talk about the coffee and conversation, because I know that idea was born from the fact that you felt like you were really almost doing too much for clients, maybe overwhelming them at times with a lot of information, which, by the way, there's a great lesson in what Paula did. If you listen to her, they went back and studied what was open. They were asking for feedback on what people thought were relevant and then made adjustments. So good call on your part. but you felt like there was this, what else? I remember we were talking our coaching call. You're like, okay, we're going to call these people again. What else can we say that hasn't been said? So maybe jump off from there and how that maybe led to the coffee and conversation idea.
That's exactly right. So it's probably about a week and a half ago now. Saturday, I was thinking, okay, we are not done yet. This thing is going to play out for a long time. We're heading into almost 2 weeks, probably 8-10 weeks of this. People have been home for a while. They've heard from us. They've seen our stuff, and they've seen me after the close, and they've just, it's just been a lot of stuff. So I was thinking one Saturday morning, so now what? What can we do, or what can we say that hasn't been said yet? And so I thought, well, what if I just throw it out to the client and let them sort of dictate the conversation? And so I had this idea to do coffee and conversation. And so Monday morning, it was about a week and a half ago, I think it was like April 20th, I threw this out to two of my marketing people, and I said, I'm thinking of doing something like coffee and conversation. Let's just offer 20 minutes Skype or phone if they can't get the Skype to work, but Skype or phone conversations with me, and we can talk about whatever they want to talk about. If they want to talk about business, that's fine. If they don't want to talk about business or the markets anymore, and they just want to tell me what they've been up to, they're sick and tired of seeing their client or their spouses or their family, and they just want to talk to somebody else, that's fine. And so we put out an email and said, we're offering 20-minute Skype conversations, and we gave them specific dates and times, first come, first serve. And we said, you can talk about business, we can talk about the economy, we can talk about your accounts. We don't have to talk about any of that. We can talk about what your family's been up to, what projects you've been up to, what recipes you've been using since everybody's cooking at home. I don't care. I thought, just tell me what's on your mind and what you all want to talk about. And honestly, I thought, is anyone going to really want to do this? I don't know, but it's worth a shot to see if people want to have a conversation and connect with us in that way, because we were sort of running out of, well, what do you want to talk about that you haven't heard on the news or seen in all of our social media, or that we haven't talked about already?
Yeah, you even said on our call that you were a little nervous. You didn't even know if people might show up on this. You kind of felt a little vulnerable. This is a new idea. Let's try it. Geez, these people may not even take this up. But that's not the case, Miss Paula. Tell us what happened.
Right. So Monday morning, I put together just a quick little email. Patty said, that sounds great. What do you want me to say? And so she put it out there. And within, I think, literally 5 minutes, I had 2 people sign up. And I was like, whoa, okay. And so I was trying to work around the appointments I already had set up. And so I'd given her some time. And so this started last week, and I had 6 people sign up in addition to the other appointments I already had. So I was like, wow, this is going to ramp up maybe pretty quick. And then I had already had appointments for this week. And then I had 9 more people sign up this week. Let's see, I did 4 yesterday and 5 today. And then next week so far, I have another 4. So I have about 18 or 19 people so far that have embraced this and taken me up on it. So it's definitely increased my activity and just connection with people, and they love it. They absolutely love it.
So what are they talking about then? What are some things?
So it's pretty random. One of the first people that signed up was a small business owner. She's one of my favorites. She's an optometrist, and she's just trying to make sense of all of the SBA legislation. And she said, I just wanted to talk to you, Paula, as another business owner. She said, it's lonely, and I don't have anyone to really run this by. She said, my husband just thinks I'm a worrier. And I said, of course you're a worrier. You're a business owner.
Business owner, right.
You're a worrier.
Check that box when you become business owner, right?
She said, I just need someone there's just so much to absorb, and what to do with my employees and how to do all this. So we talked about that and the resources that we have. I have one guy, he's in his late 50s. He was laid off, and his wife is still working. And so he's at home, and he said he just wanted to talk to someone. He said, what do I do next? I've had a whole bunch that several that wanted to talk about their account specifically. And so I had some follow-up to do. So I really didn't prepare much of anything for them. And they understood that. They knew that. They're like, they get 20 minutes. What are we going to talk about? But they had some I kind of anticipated that. And some I said, let's either set another appointment. And I've done that. I've set some follow-up appointments. Or I got back with them already on some specific questions that they had. And some just wanted to let me know what was going on in their lives. One of my doctor clients, we'd had on his financial plan for a long time. Once he got so far situated, he was going to buy a new car for his wife, and he did that last weekend for her birthday. And I said, send me a picture. And he did, and I was so excited. He just wanted to tell me what's going on with them. I had a couple today. They have a condo. They have a house in Springfield, but they have a condo in Florida, and they've been in Florida since February. And so they were telling me what they've been up to and what they've been doing with their time. And then what I'm doing is I'm asking for referrals. I'm saying, well, don't keep us a secret. This is what we do. We've learned through all of this that we can meet people wherever they are. I've met several people for the first time via Skype. And so then I sit down right after the appointment. I put quick notes in CRM, and then I send out a handwritten thank you note. And I put some cards in there, don't keep us a secret, and I send those out. And so so that's what my methodology's been for the last couple of weeks.
Sounds like you're getting a lot of positive feedback. The people, ranging from serious topics like, hey, can I be talk to you business owner to business owner, people lonely, no one at home, spouse working. So it just sounds business stuff. I mean, just a wide array. And I like what you're doing because, Paul, we talked about this. You really didn't do a lot of prep. You're just kind of showing up and going with it, right? You don't know what they want to talk about. And so was that hard for you to just kind of show up and be in the moment? Was that a struggle at all?
No, I know most of the clients pretty well, and so I kind of thought I knew where it was going to go. I also wanted to be sure. I thought, man, if I haven't talked to them by now, I probably missed them. And there were a couple that showed up on my calendar that, I missed them for whatever reason. They're not financial planning clients. They're not major accounts. They certainly deserve to be taken care of, but I just didn't reach out to them, and they reached out to me, and they were totally fine with that. I've had some people that have said, and we all love to hear this, I have some money in savings. Do you think I should invest that now? Like, yeah, I think you should. And what do you think I should put that in? And so let me think on that. Let me get back with you. And I've had a few more that we've increased the amount that they're saving every month because they want to, just take advantage dip in the market, and they know they can. They've been saving a lot of money staying at home and not eating out, not going places, not going on vacation. So we've increased some of their savings too. So I think I told you, Travis, I think I've got a longer list of money coming in than I've had than I did at the beginning of the year. So people have money sitting in cash that they're not, interest rates went down. They're not getting anything on, and so they want to look at other options. And today, for the first time, so today I had a gal that she had 2 CDs come due on Monday, and so we're putting some of that in bonds, and we're putting some of that in a structured annuity. I've not done that, but we're putting a little bit in that because she does not want to be directly in the market, and so that was a good opportunity for her to take advantage of that.
So you came in really with no agenda. You knew the clients. It was easy for you to show up. So some things have happened. You've gotten some business out of it, it sounds like, right? Yes. Any referrals generated on the spot or anything come yet referrals-wise?
I have. I've gotten a few referrals. A couple of people said, I've given your name to my boss or my son. I did a first-time what we older people would call a PMM, over Skype. And so they're going to become clients too. That was a first for me. I usually meet people face to face, but this wasn't possible. So we met over Skype, and that worked out fine. And so yes, I'm getting referrals as well, because people
right. But you didn't go in with that in mind, right? It was all about, let's have the conversation, be there for the clients, but yet the secondary or the unintended benefits that come from this is that you're getting some business and referrals. So,
right. I had several people say, thank you so much for this. Thank you for doing this with us or for us, or and I always am really gracious and thank them for spending their time with me. And they have been really great. I've had a couple say, let's do this again. And I said, well, we may have to. I mean, of course, let's do it again. It's pretty easy. And I've had some first-time people that have not really done a lot of virtual or done Skype, and they found out it's really pretty easy, and they were pretty excited about that. So especially my people from Florida today. I said, you don't have to be in Springfield to meet with me. You can meet with me via Skype, and they're discovering that we can do a lot more virtual. And so I just was able to show them that I can meet them wherever they are. And I told them that with referrals. I said, I can meet whoever you send to me wherever they are. They don't have to come into the office.
Right. Perfect. Well, just maybe one more question here, Paula, as our advisors are listening to you and thinking about doing this, now that you've planned and executed upon it, any advice on maybe how you would do it differently going forward that would make it even better?
I don't know. I really didn't. It was just a thought that I had that popped in my head over a weekend. Sometimes that's when you can take a step back and start thinking, okay, what next? I would think, I did one wave, and then I did a second wave, and then I did a third wave for next week, and I don't have all my time filled for next week, and that's fine. And I figure in a couple of months, if this continues on, this COVID, which they're saying may drag on through the summer, I may offer it again, just in a fresher way. But I'm also starting to think, okay, this was a really good exercise. I almost got 20 new appointments out of it, just touching base with people that weren't on my calendar, except for my already set appointments. But I'm also starting to think, so what's next? What are we going to do next? Because we're not out of the woods yet. I think everybody recognizes that.
Right. Yeah. Very good. Well, Paula, thank you so much for sharing your best practice. That means a lot to the D2 community for you to share that with them. And, what I'd say out there is if you have questions, feel free to send them to us. We can help you. Also, we're going to send out a replay so people can go through and kind of listen to this all over again, to listen to Paula and how she did it and went about doing it. So thank you, Paula. Tell Tim and Kyle I said hello. Great work.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Have a good evening.